Wednesday, the 6th of January.
2021.
21.
Yes.
Great start to the year.
Back in lockdown.
We're back in lockdown here in England. The UK, England has decided to catch up with the rest of the UK, and we're back in full lockdown. So the school's closed, shops are closed.
Everything's
closed. So yeah, we're at home, which doesn't really affect us because we're at home usually anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But it just means that we can craft. You can do your cross stitching and.
Well, not with Anna around.
When Anna's not around.
Yeah.
Without any. There's nothing else to do, is there?
There's nothing else to do. And it's been snowing today.
Icy outside.
Really icy. So since there's no place to go, let it snow. It's bad to think. It's Epiphany today, isn't it? So we can still sing Christmas songs.
This would be when you should take your Christmas decorations down.
Yeah, but we took them down on New Year's Day because I was sick of them. So, we thought we'd start this episode with, maybe all our episodes, we don't know, we're still working this out, but we wanted to start this one with a little bit of something that you're grateful for, or a little bit of positivity.
Yeah.
So, what's yours, Mammy?
Well, being in lockdown, I think of my mum, who is 89, and she hasn't had any visitors for nearly a year, really.
Mm-hmm. Being
able to pop round and sort of see her. And so she lives alone. And I would normally live alone. But because I'm in between homes, I'm grateful that I can see my granddaughter every day. My daughter every day as well.
No, I'm not important.
My son-in-law, but my granddaughter every day. And because there's millions and millions of people who haven't seen their grandchildren. So I must be grateful for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's, yeah.
Good. Yeah, I'm grateful for you too.
And I think of my sister, Auntie Sheila, in Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
And she hasn't seen her granddaughter for a long time. Not being able to hug her and kiss her every day. So, yeah. That's a very special place to be.
Yeah, especially when we don't know when.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we thought coming into this year it would be a little bit better, but clearly not. We're still in this for a little bit longer. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
What are you grateful for, Helen?
Today, I'm grateful that Alex can work at home.
Mm-hmm.
So he's at work upstairs, that he doesn't have to go out, and that he still has a job that he can do. I'm very grateful for that. I have to remind myself that not everybody's in that position. So
I think it's really good to check in with ourselves, because we can go down the complaining route and the moaning route and the negative route, and you have to really, concentrate some days, because it goes on and on and on.
Mm-hmm.
Concentrate some days on,
Yeah, I was really struggling the day that they announced lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Monday night.
Well,
like 2 nights
ago. Kids
ago.
went back to school on the Monday, and then the Tuesday
they were told not to. So it's just frustrating more than anything. We agree with the lockdown. We agree with wearing masks and the vaccine and everything, but it's just the way that it is being handled that we're frustrated with.
Yeah.
So we have to look for these little positive things to remind ourselves, kind of how good we have it. But yeah, I was struggling.
Yeah. And it's okay to struggle.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to have a day when you're struggling, and a day when 2 days, 3 days, a week when it just gets on top of you, gets too much. But there's always hope.
Mm-hmm.
And always something to find gratitude in.
Yeah. And we're here if you want to talk.
We are, yeah.
Just let us know. We have our email address down below and our Instagrams if you want to DM us. But yeah, stay positive. It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
So, next on the list, stitchy stuff.
Your stitchy stuff, knitty stuff.
Mm-hmm.
At the minute, I'm not doing any crocheting at the minute.
No, but you have some finishes.
Oh, yes. Well, I think last time I said, you asked me when would I be finished them. And I said, I think I'd get finished them tonight. And that's it. My socks.
Yay!
In Hollyberry. And they're the fit. And I don't know if any sock knitter saw last night on BBC 2, I think it was.
Usually.
Inside the factory, and it was about sock factory. It was really interesting. And they did a bit of history on the Kitchener stitch.
Yeah, that was really fun. We watched it on BBC iPlayer. So if you're in the UK, you can watch it on there inside the factory. But for me, it was really fun to watch because I don't know anything about knitting, and you always talking about the Kitchener stitch, and I just like saying the Kitchener stitch. But they went into the history of it, and I thought that was really cool. So if you can, go watch it. I think you can get it in America and Canada somehow. So if you're over there, just give it a Google and see, because it was a really interesting show.
There was this amazing lady who finished the socks, the toes off.
Oh, in the factory, yeah.
What
She'd put
these little hooks.
Put the sock back on the needles. Tiny little. I would love to have a go at that. Yeah.
She was amazing. Amazing skill.
I'll put the info down below if you can look at it, because that was really interesting. Even for a non-knitter, it was really interesting. So you finished.
So I finished them with the Kitchener stitch. Yeah. It's on my Instagram anyway. Yeah.
I don't know, does that look good?
I hope so.
It gives it like a little point.
That bit is the Kitchener stitch, because it
doesn't make it bumpy.
No, it makes it look like it's just been knitted over.
Oh, I see. Yeah, rather than a seam.
Rather than a seam, it's just continuous stitches. But it's the way you graft. It's called grafting. You graft the stitches together, and I think it's really clever.
And so this yarn was
West Yorkshire Spinners.
It's really pretty.
I think that.
Did you not say Hollyberry?
Hollyberry. Yes, it's Hollyberry.
Really pretty. Now, I noticed when you did this, and I don't know if you meant to.
No, I didn't.
You didn't mean to, but it was kind of, you've knitted one upside down.
Well, the colours, they look okay.
Oh, it looks
but what
fine.
It is
but the pattern.
Yeah, I started with the middle of the ball of wool and found where there was the red, and then I thought I had the end again and went to find the red, but it was the beginning of the sock. So it's sort of like
you've gone that
I've gone that way, so that or that way. Yeah.
But I think it looks great.
But it's okay. It's only me that wears them.
But that's just one of the things that I kind of notice.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone else would notice.
I noticed, I knew, I could tell. But as they're just for me, if they had been for Elizabeth or Jared, I would have started again.
But they're just odd socks.
But
they're not quite odd socks, but they're odd socks. They're unique.
Yeah, they are unique.
Yeah. Any other finishes?
No. Have you got any finishes?
I don't have any finishes. I put away the one that I finished just before Christmas.
Oh, yes, the night before Christmas.
Yeah, but you can see that on my Instagram. But I packed it away. It needs to get framed.
Beautiful that is. That's lovely.
But then it's not technically a finish in this week that we've had, so I think I would be cheating anyway. So, next whips. So you had a new start.
So my new start is, so it's Hollyberry again, but so it goes with my socks, is a hat. So on my DPNs that I got for Christmas, the Chowgoo DPNs, which I had never used before.
It just looks so complicated.
It's not really. It's more complicated. I was finding, because I have difficulty with my joints, difficulty with my hands and my wrists, I usually use the circular needles, or the magic loop method, for hats and for socks. But I wanted to give myself a challenge. So I knitted a hat. So starting off with the rib, when you haven't got much work done, I find it really difficult. It was really slow process, and it was anybody who has difficulty with knitting with their wrists, I really advise the magic loop or circular needles. I'm not quite sure if they're the same or different. But then as I've got more work done, it's been easier.
It's just getting used to them because you've not used them before. Yeah.
So the pattern for this I'm using, it's just out of a magazine. It's just a basic hat. Anybody who knits hats will know, just a basic hat. Just for me again. So it's just to play with the DPNs, get used to using the DPNs.
Because you tried starting socks.
Well, that's my other whip.
But on DPNs.
In this little cute bag that we showed last time. So this is the Dune socks. And I frogged them again.
How many times did you frog them?
This will be the 5th try.
Oh, these are tiny compared to that hat.
So it's just doing one sock at a time. That's in Robin. So it's West Yorkshire Spinners signature.
So pretty.
So I'm finding the pattern to follow. So that's another challenge I'm giving myself, is following a pattern. So they write them out and they've got symbols. So it's like the pattern is written like sort of on a graph, but in symbols. And then I have to interpret. So then they give you a list of the symbols and
like a key.
Yeah. So, but I have to write it out.
Yes, you said,
Till I get used to. And now I'm not sure whether the symbols are the same for every knitting pattern.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you when you told me about that. Because then you would know that symbol equals that stitch, and that would always be in your head.
I haven't ever done a knitting pattern like that before.
Because even between my patterns, between the same designers, not every symbol is the same colour. Yeah. So I could never, you could never learn the symbols.
Yeah. Well, I think I know, like, sort of a blank square is a knit stitch and a dot in a square is a purl. But then they've got sort of, when you have to do it, because it's got cabling in. So when there's a cable, it's like 4 stitches long. So it's like, it just looks like a pattern. And I think because I'm dyspraxic, I'm sure I'm dyspraxic, it's really difficult to, one's one way around and one's the other way around. So you might have the cable to the front or the cable to the back.
I hate that when they use the same symbol
but
flipped, because if it wasn't for my PDFs and being able to highlight, my brain would think that was the same stitch, and I've done it so many times where I've stitched it and realised that's the completely wrong colour. Yeah. I
will probably still be showing this sock next year.
After she's ripped it out for the 10th time.
But I'm sure I will get to it. I probably haven't helped myself using a variegated yarn or a self-striping yarn.
Okay.
Because you can see there's a really tiny little pattern starting to emerge there.
Oh, I see. Let me see if I can show that.
Tiny little.
Oh, it's like really
tiny pattern. But that I mean, even the cuff.
This was your German...
When I did the... Yes. And you know how I had a problem, took me a while to get used to that twisted German cast on?
Mm-hmm.
I did it without looking at any YouTube videos or any help. I just remembered it for the cast on for the hat.
Well done.
So it makes it nice and stretchy.
Yay!
Probably too stretchy now, but anyway. So that's my whips at the minute.
Any other ones that you've worked on?
No, I haven't.
No?
It's because everything's put away.
Yeah, her wool is in the storage container, and it's just difficult when Anna's around.
Yeah. So yes. So I've got some lovely Novita yarn.
Is that the one that smells nice?
It smells like sheep.
Oh
Yeah. But it's proper Scandinavian wool for like colour stranded work and socks and things like that. Yeah. But that's all in storage, so
you don't get to play with that yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so my whips. So after last week's whip parade, I decided to work on my Imperial by Scarlet Quince. I'm going to do this the wrong way.
Yeah.
So this is one of the whips that's kind of got the least amount in. So I thought I would put some in. And I realised why I've not put so much stuff in, obviously because I need to cover this up for the back, is because it's so confetti heavy.
So what?
Confetti heavy.
What's confetti heavy?
So last week I said that I wanted to do the letters because they were such a headache in the sister pattern to this one. So I started on this. So I've done this bit in the arches and then filled in some of this bit that's the same colour while I had that thread on my needle. So all of these tiny stitches, basically each one of them is a different colour.
Oh my goodness me.
So when it's confetti, it just means that you've got one stitch of one colour here. You don't have like a whole block of colour that you can fill in.
Right.
So I take like a length of thread and I'll do one stitch and then I've got nothing. Because there is a bit on this page that's, oh, can I do it there? That's like, I'm trying to follow the mirror. But I don't want to start this bit until I've got the letters done and the rest of this filled in. Yeah. And it's just such a headache. Like, I don't mind confetti, but...
Wow, never heard that.
This is a lot, and it's a lot more compared to the sister pattern, the White Star one. So I just got frustrated with it.
I wonder if have they ever done, you know, like how I've got the self-striping yarn, do they do self-striping floss?
Well, you can get variegated floss and...
Yeah.
But not in terms of if you stitch this whole pattern, you just need to this one there. Because then it's everybody's tension and everything. Like, no, you couldn't do that.
Silly idea.
It's a good idea. I like that idea. I wish it was true.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I had a few nights on that and then I just gave up because I think I need someone to help me like get the threads ready, because you spend so much time getting the threads ready rather than stitching.
You'd have to get Alex involved then.
He does get involved. My husband Alex, he does help. But yeah, it was just, I just wasn't in the mindset to do that. I'll have a mindset later where I don't mind
fiddly, but it's effective
doing it. Yeah. So I put that away because I thought I wasn't happy with it. I wasn't friends with it at the time. So, and then the other thing that I said last week is I want to start on more smaller stuff because that's one of my BAPs, my big ass projects.
Yes.
So I needed something just a little bit smaller, just to get some good progress in, and that I could, you know, so this is the only small one that I've got on at the minute is Little House Needleworks Needleworker. The only reason I've only got one small whip on is because I only have one small project bag.
Oh, that's so tiny.
So I need more small project bags. So these are the project bags that I use.
So pretty.
They are from Oh So Twinkle Crafts on Etsy. I will link her down below. Tracy, her name is. She's brilliant. I just love these project bags. This is a medium, and it holds an 8x8 Q snap. And they're just so beautifully made. Absolutely love them. So I only have one of the medium size. The rest are large for my big ass project. So I was just working on the N and the start of that little bird there. My little bird looks angry.
Right?
Can you see? There will be a stitch where his eye is.
Right.
But he just looks angry to me at the minute.
I think it's his forehead. Looks like he's frowning.
It'll be okay. But it just made me happy that I was just able to do a little bit.
Yeah, but when I was watching you stitching, you seemed to be all elbows.
Well, because it's in such a small frame, and I use my Lowry stand.
And you're on the wrong seat.
I'm on the wrong side because I gave up my usual stitchy spot on the sofa for Mum, so she needs it more than I do. So my Lowry stand is now on my left-hand side, and I'm a two-handed stitcher. So my left arm is on the top of my work. So the bar is like in the way of my elbow. So it's really difficult when it's such a small frame and it's like right up next to my thing. If you want to know more about that, I could probably do a film about my setup. But yeah, so I don't usually like to stitch in hand with my frame, but I do because this one's so small. And like stitching right up to the edge of my Q-snap there is difficult.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was nice to work on that just because it was easy.
Yeah.
Nice. So that's my only whips that I've worked on. Again, just because Anna's so active
she's
now.
So mobile and pulling herself up. And...
yeah, so she likes to get into things that she's not allowed, and I do not want her to get into my stitchy stuff.
No, not yet.
Not until she appreciates it. So yeah, that was whips. What's next? Haul. Haul. Do you want to do a little back and what have you got?
Well, the whole that I got my DPNs, Chowgoo DPNs for Christmas off you and Elizabeth, my other daughter. And then I got some Christmas money from my mum. So straight away I treated myself to these. If anybody knows Chowgoo, they will know that it is it's the full set, although I've got these really small small set, but these are the interchangeables. So
okay,
I think the little paper's in the way. That's it. So yeah, that's them. That's when I'm saying circulars, or do you want to show them? So that it's got a tiny, tiny little, that's what the ends look like.
So you can take them off.
And
with the little key.
Yeah.
And so you can change the size of your needle.
So yeah.
So your needles just come like that.
Yeah.
And they screw on.
And you get a little tightener. You get a little pack.
So these are circular needles.
Well, I think that they're interchangeable because you can.
They're not fixed.
No, they're not fixed.
So they're interchangeable circular
But I think
needles?
I think so. I think they're called magic loop knitting.
Okay.
Somebody please correct me. Give me the right answer. So you get stoppers for the ends of the cords. Right, so you get more cords. So you can put one of the needles on, see, screw them in, but you get a special little thing to tighten it. And then you can put a stopper on the end.
So it doesn't have to be circular then?
So then you can use them as like long, ordinary knitting needles.
So you just have...
For like...
But it's not...
If you're working in what they call a flat, rather than in the round.
Oh, okay. So if you're making a scarf, just a flat scarf.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I know how to knit, so that's why I said it.
Yeah. And the cords, they say they've got no memory, better than some of the other interchangeables.
Yeah, but get a kink in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So some of them so I've got some Addy ones that have got a kink in them, but apparently you can soak them in hot water.
Oh, yeah.
And then it comes with a bunch of stitch markers, different sizes as well.
They're cool.
So they were really a luxury haul.
That was a good haul.
That was a luxury haul, and I wouldn't have bought them out of my.
It was because it was Christmas.
Because it was Christmas, and it's lockdown, and it's just because. Do you need a reason?
No, you don't need a reason at all.
So that's my haul.
Yay! So I didn't show you this last week, but this is what I got for Christmas. So I got the Sing a Sampler series by Silver Creek Samplers.
Oh, yes.
So this is Do, Re, Mi, Fa.
We love the sound of music.
Ti, Do. Yes, we're a big Sound of Music.
Mm-hmm.
Family.
Yeah.
I played Gretel.
When you were 6, but you looked about 3.
Yeah, I was tiny.
Tiny.
So I've always liked Sound of Music, and when I saw that pattern, I really wanted to do it. But Jan Hicks of Jan Hicks Creates, she introduced me, that's where I saw it first, to a colour conversion.
Right.
So these are quite muted colours, but she has a conversion for like a rainbow effect. So Do would be red, Ray would be orange.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's so much prettier, in my opinion. So I've ordered some threads and some fabric. So we'll see probably next time how that's going to look. But I'm glad I saw that conversion, because I didn't know you could convert things. Like,
oh, God, I convert all the time.
I know, but I like to follow the rules. You have to follow the rules. That's what the pattern says. But no,
you can bend the rules.
It's changing it completely. So yeah, Flosstube for me has been really good in that respect of not having to choose exactly what the designer says. I mean,
yeah.
So yeah, so that was my first haul. And my second haul, it's my unicorn chart. I don't know where I've put it. There it is. So this is my unicorn chart. So do you have a unicorn chart or a unicorn thing? Like your Sophie's Universe?
Yeah.
You'd love to do that.
Oh, what's a unicorn? All right, not what's...
Oh, right. So a unicorn chart is like...
I was going to say that's not a unicorn.
It's not a unicorn. It just means it's like...
It's not a unicorn.
It's not a unicorn. I'm not going to stitch a unicorn. But it's my unicorn chart. So it's like something that is... It might exist, but it's very hard to like find. This one is like an out of print one.
Right.
It's the one that you really, really, really want, but...
Well, the Sophie's Universe, for those who don't know, it's a crochet Afghan blanket, big, huge thing. Or you can make them smaller. But it is so beautiful, and they can do it in all different colourways.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can buy the packs. Too.
Yeah. I compare it to my Chatelaine.
Right, yeah.
It's like the knitter's crocheting version of a Chatelaine because it's so big.
Yeah.
It's like so luxurious. Like you really want to take your time with it. It's like that kind of
There's lots,
level.
apparently, there's I'm in a Facebook group of Sophie's Universe.
Mm-hmm.
And the amount of frogging that goes on.
Yeah.
So the frogging is the pulling it out and.
So your Sophie's Universe isn't
It's
necessarily hard to find.
No.
It's just it's expensive to get all wool together.
Yeah.
That you want to do it, but this is
It's a bap.
Yeah. So this haul I have not necessarily. Well, it's kind of hard to find because it's out of print, and it was expensive because of that. Not really expensive. I bought it, so it's like I wouldn't pay silly money for it. But it is Lavender and Lace, Angel of Love.
Watch the lights. Just push it. That's it.
There we go.
Yeah,
I can't see.
Yeah, the light was just. She's beautiful.
I'm so happy I have her.
Who is the painting by then?
Well, it's not a painting. It's Nora Corbett.
So of course it's not Nora Corbett. I was looking at Mirabilia patterns before we started filming. Angel of Love was of course designed by the late Marilyn Levitt Imblum, I hope I've said that right, of Lavender and Lace Designs. She's got some wonderful things on her website. I'll link them down below.
Beads. Wow. That's going to be all beads and metallic thread. So again, I've ordered some thread and some of the beads. Some of them I already have. But it's just so beautiful.
How big will that be?
Let's have a look. Will be almost 10 inches by 17.5 inches.
Right.
It's quite a hefty one. And you have to do it on...
But you've done massive ones. That's not a massive one, is it?
Well, yeah.
But it's going to be heavy.
Yeah. So it's probably going to be a lot to frame, but it's just going to be so gorgeous. So I chose this 28 count because it needs to be 28 count for the beading. Picture this plus ale. I don't know how good that's showing up with this light. But this was Emily of Eclectic Possessions did this and did it on ale as well. So it looked really good. So I'm going to do that as well.
Why does it need to be on 28 count? Because of the beads?
Because of the way the beads are going to fit on the fabric.
Right.
So I was explaining the count of fabric. So it's 28 count. So there's 28 holes per inch.
Yeah.
So I'll stitch it 2 floss threads over 2 holes.
Right.
So as you're stitching the beads on, the bead has to sit in the square.
Yeah.
So if you did it in a smaller count, the beads would all be squished in. Right. Which sometimes is a problem because this is a hand-dyed fabric by Picture This Plus. So sometimes it shrinks.
Ooh.
So it might be just a little tight, but we'll work it out. It'll be okay. It's not too much of an issue.
Just watch your tension.
Yeah, and so I might have to slightly adjust.
Yeah.
Depending, but you can't really tell.
Is tension when you cross stitching like knitting, so you go up or down a needle if your tension isn't?
No, because a needle, it doesn't really matter.
Or the thickness of your threads?
Sometimes with the threads, you just depend on what coverage you want. So I stitch 2/2 on 36 count, but some people are happy with 1/2. It just depends, and I think it depends on the colour that you're using, the colour of fabric, what coverage you want. But the needle's not got much to do with it, other than how easy it is to pull the thread through the fabric. So if you get a fatter needle, to pull it through the fabric, it makes a bigger hole. So to pull your thread through. So this one has a lot of metallic thread as well. So I would use a slightly bigger needle so the metallic thread won't catch as much. It gives it a bigger hole to go through. But we'll see. I'm just so excited that I finally found it, and I don't know when I'm going to start it, but I bought some of the things at least, because some of the like Week Star Works and Classic Colour Works, the hand dyed thread is out of stock at the minute because of COVID. It's hard to get the stock, so I have some, not all, but I'm just happy that I have the pattern.
Well, who would know? I've learned something new. Unicorn.
Oh, and the other thing that I got were 2 patterns from Wild Violet Cross Stitch. It was Bee by the Moon? Bee by the Moon and Moth by the Sun. I think they're a PDF, so I'll put pictures up here. But again, I want to do a few more smaller things, and they were really cute charts. So I'll show you them. I haven't showed you, but yeah, that was all my haul. Happy shopping.
Yes.
So next, have you got any plans?
I just keep checking to see if there's any emails come through about the house, because the solicitors were back yesterday. Yeah, I suppose it's becoming all-encompassing now, thinking
That's the only thing that's going on.
And worrying about, well, because it's locked down, I can't go and look for my white goods.
Nope.
I have to order them offline, which is just not a thing I would do.
You want to go into the shop and look at them.
And I want a fridge freezer with the fridge on the bottom and the freezer on the top, which are unicorns.
That's a unicorn. We don't have that here in the UK much, unless it's like a really tiny one.
Yeah.
So there's a few options that we found. We have to. We're going to measure it against
for
my fridge.
Just because of the lifting for my.
Yeah. We have to lift from the bottom of the fridge. So do you get more things out the freezer? Or more things out the fridge?
No, I get more things out the fridge, but they're at the right height. Whereas the fridge, I have to lift my arms up. So if I'm lifting, it's easier to get things from the bottom for me than the top.
So you need a fridge freezer.
I need a fridge freezer.
And you need to know when the solicitor's going to call.
Yeah.
To say it's all complete.
Yeah, you can move in.
You can move in. You can get your wool out of storage.
Oh, look,
it's the postman.
It's the postman.
Do you think he
trust the Royal Mail? He shouldn't cut across.
Yeah, he just walked through the neighbour's garden.
Yeah. We'll let him off because he brings good things.
You might have brought haul, so that's okay. So that's life update. Nothing really happening with me. I'm just still on maternity leave until the end of March. Hopefully I can go back in March. If not, I might be furlough, working from home, not sure.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned last time that we're planning some house renovations. So when Mammy moves into her house, we'll be moving in with her while we get renovations done here. So it's not going to be over.
No. No. So, but anyway, we can still do a stitching and crafting together when Anna's asleep or...
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just, yeah, as and when we can get a moment to stitch.
Yeah.
Or to knit.
Yeah. I like to follow the Buddhist practice of no attachment, not having attachment to things. You know,
I have so much attachment to things.
Well, I'm trying not to, but I realise
my stash.
How much attachment I have to my stuff.
Is that when you moved out? Because you threw a lot of things away. We were talking about this the other day.
Yeah, but I think that was KonMari and stuff, so that was okay. This is a little bit of anxious feeling, not having all of my yarn to just go and choose what I want to do.
Do you have separation anxiety from your yarn?
Yes, I think that's a problem. I think it is my third apart from you kids and Anna, my third biggest relationship. Oh my goodness. It's just so strange. I didn't think, but I think because where I was living before, I had my ottoman full of yarn, and living on my own, I could have my yarn out all of the time.
It was like a giant chocolate box.
Yeah.
You just open it and you just see all this wool.
And in each room there was probably a whip somewhere.
Just in case.
Yeah. We have a photograph somewhere of you doing some of my stash.
Oh yeah, I'll put that in here. This is when we were packing up Mum's house and we had to vacuum pack some of her wool because she couldn't bring it all here and she couldn't fit it in boxes, so we just had to put it in vacuum bags and just pile it up in the storage container.
Just I've got very little choice here.
I gave you the footstool.
I know.
You've got a whole room that you can do stuff with.
I know.
It's not enough.
I think I worry about it. Is it okay? Is any little micey getting into the...
You saying I've got mice in my house?
No, into the storage place. I didn't see it. We could go and visit it.
We could go for a walk. We could go visit the storage.
I walked past it the other day.
You did walk past it the other day. You could have just popped in.
Please, can I visit my wool?
Can I visit my wool? See how it is.
Oh,
how it's
so
doing.
silly.
Tell it it's still loved.
Yeah.
It might feel abandoned.
I just look and say, oh, what I can make with that. I know I'm going to make that with that. Because when I'm looking through the Outlander book, I know where the yarn is.
You've got wool.
Yeah, for that. Anyway, it's a silly thing. It's a really silly thing.
No, I think people appreciate it.
But
they have the same attachment to their
floss.
To the floss and to whips and to their stash.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's what we do to keep ourselves okay. And then when you haven't got it, I'm not okay.
I'm not okay. It helps. Yeah. So fun.
Yeah. Anyway, you'll all get to see it when it's all unpacked.
That's just going to be exciting. I'm so excited for that. Yeah. To unpack and to get some storage and to organise it for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to label stuff.
Yeah, you'll take over.
I'll take over. I'll look
boss me about. Look after me. Boss me about.
I'll tell you what's right.
Yeah. And I'll say, yes, darling.
Yes, darling.
And then when she goes, I'll just put it back.
I'll have had fun now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you like your label makers, don't you?
I do. I love my label maker.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think
that's it. I think we're done. we've got a few hours before Anna comes home from Grandad's house. We're going to do some more.
Oh, yeah, do some more on my hat, I think.
On your hat. I'll do some more. I don't know what I'm in the mood for at the minute.
Well, I think you were struggling being in that chair.
I am struggling in that chair.
And I did offer you the other chair.
I know, but you need it more than I do. I can struggle on. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay then.
So let us know what you think. Let us know if there's anything you want to ask or you want to see. But yeah, stay safe, stay positive, happy stitching.
Yeah, stay grateful.
Bye.
Bye.